Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I posted a video up, so apologies. I'll be honest with you, this year's just not worked out. I've done an awful lot, but none of it's really panned out and done exactly what I wanted it to do, so I didn't feel it's been worth putting a video on. What is hopefully going to be worth it though is today. I'm not on the side of a road because that just wouldn't be interesting. I'm actually at Carlisle Airport, hopefully potentially behind me, somewhere around here, maybe. You'll hopefully see some Chinook helicopters. So you'll see over there's 4 Chinook helicopters, and they are Dutch. I'm actually up at RAF Spadeadam, which is in the north of England. It's actually on the border of Scotland. Once a year the Dutch come over for an exercise called TAC Blaze. So this year it's a little bit later than it has been previously. We're in June and it is very hot at the moment. So in the UK we're going through a little bit of a heat wave. So we're currently at like 30 degrees and it's still warming up, and it's only just before lunch. So I'd expect that it's probably going to hit 30, 32, maybe 30, even 4 today. It was pretty bad yesterday, so and it has been bad for the last few days, but hopefully these guys are going to pop onto the range later today. There's also some Apaches, so there's 6 Apache helicopters again that have come over from the Netherlands, so they're all part of this exercise. So it's a 3-week exercise. It started last week. I didn't come up last week, but I've decided to do 2 days this week. Came up yesterday afternoon, got onto the range around about 3 o'clock yesterday. There was 1 Apache at 4 o'clock. I'll be honest with you, where I ended up I kind of didn't really get much of it. I saw it, and then later on in the evening there was 4 Apaches came out around about 8 o'clock, and they were flying around, and I've got some video which I'll pop up a little bit later on those. But today, again, the first sortie is liable to start around about 4 o'clock, hopefully, so we'll just see what happens today. So it was challenging yesterday. We had quite a lot of midges in the area. It was pretty horrendous later on. Got some midge spray, but it was only kind of keeping stuff at bay really. But hopefully if these guys do exactly what they're supposed to do, you know, they'll do the exercise first, then hopefully they'll put on a little bit of a show at the end for everyone. That's what happened yesterday. I've been up and they've kind of done it before, but there is no guarantees. You know, you have to come up, you have to just hit a spot at Spadeadam and hope for the best. Unfortunately, it's just one of those places, but so far it's always worked out for me. Let's hope that today does the same. And I'll also put on a location as well, but it's definitely worth, if you are going to come up to Spadeadam, if you do get the opportunity, just come to the Carlisle Lakes Airport. So you'll see the Chinooks parked up, but you'll also see some kind of porter cabins, Dutch vehicles, lots of, you know, a few military hanging around. The Apaches normally are a little bit further on, so what I'll do, I'll try and see if I can figure out where the Apaches are parked this year. So we are a little bit further around the airfield at the moment. You can see over in the distance we've got the 4 Chinooks, some military vehicles dotting around. Over there's another kind of gate, so there's like a sentry post over there, the Dutch sentry post. Just making sure that people don't park in front of the gate and do stupid stuff so they can get access and things like that. So again, just, you know, if you're going to come here, be sensible, don't wind them up, you know, just leave them alone. They're here to do a job. You know, they're not here to kind of you know, support spotters. I mean, they will do their best, but at the end of the day they're here on a job, they're abroad, they're doing exercise, so leave them alone, be respectful, and that's the best way to act here. And then we've got the Apaches over here lined up, so in front of the Welcome to Carlisle Lake District sign over there, for the actual terminal itself, you've got the Apaches that are just parked up in front of it. So you're not going to get fantastic shots here of the Apaches or the Chinooks. You know, you'll see them off in the distance. You know, with a telephoto lens, you know, you'll get some okay shots, but you're not going to get anything amazing. There are people that come here and will take takeoffs and landings and things like that. Again, you can do that if that's what you want, but again, it doesn't really kind of float my boat. I'd rather get them doing a little bit of action. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring you a little bit around the airfield, show you some of the different spots, show you kind of where things generally are. It's definitely worth, if you are going to come up to Spadeadam, it's definitely worth coming around the airfield, just having a mooch around. Like I said, just be respectful. You know, there's some, you know, the parking isn't easy. So if you're going to stay here a while, just find a nice spot where you can kind of get in, that you're not blocking vehicles and things like that. But yeah, other than that, all I would say is, as I said, definitely worth a view. But obviously the main action happens at the actual range itself. So we're on the Spadeadam range now. When you come onto Spadeadam range, there's a single track that you follow all the way through the range, and I'm pretty much almost at probably about 3/4 through to the end of that now. So I'm at an area called Butterburn. So again, what I'll do, I'll flick the camera around, and you can see kind of what I'm looking at. So you'll basically see there's like a meandering river, some trees here. And on the other side of these trees, again, the river carries back on over there. So I'll put the what 3 words location on for this if you're interested. It's one of those things that at the moment there's very limited space. Just looking here, you can see that there's cars kind of on the grass verges. There's probably space for about 7 or 8 cars over here if people park sensibly. And then a little bit further on, you've got other parking areas where you can kind of get in. The thing with Spadeadam is, if you've never been before, you've just got to pick a spot. There's no guarantee of anything happening in any one area. There's literally no point chasing them around. If the helicopters, once they've done all their exercises, if they've got time, they will come and put on like a little bit of a mini show or a display or a pass for you if you're very, very lucky. So you don't get it all the time. There's no guarantees, just like with anything, but you've just got to be in the right location at the right time and just hope for the best. So it is a lovely area. You can see that the scenery is absolutely stunning. It's the range is absolutely huge. You can see those trees off in the distance there. The range extends way beyond that, and then I'm just going to send a circle round over there. Again, the range extends way beyond that over there. And then you've probably got miles and miles to the left hand side as well, and then also all the way to the south, again way off into the distance there. It's absolutely vast, and the helicopters can be at any part of it. There's no guarantees. So yeah, all I would say is, if you do get the opportunity to come, like I said, just be respectful of parking, be respectful of other people, clean up after yourself, take whatever you fetch with you, take it home, and hopefully you'll get lucky.
Back around.
Oh shit!
Mad times. Hey guys, we're at a different location on Spadeadam range now, so I'm going to kind of show you from here. So this is, I would say this is right at the end of the range. So I'll put the what 3 words location on for this place. It's basically like a plateau. So you do get the Chinooks and the Apaches coming past here, doing some passes, and they kind of go off all in the distance in here, all the way around over here. But you can get them quite close. It's definitely worth coming up here and just seeing what's going on. So like I say, I'll put the what 3 words location up. Definitely if you're coming up on Spadeadam, you know, check out different places, don't just stick to the same location. So we're at a different location again at Spadeadam. There's kind of a ford in the river with a little bridge. It's kind of behind me, you can see. I'll turn the camera around in a sec, and I'll also put the what 3 words location on. But this is quite a good location because basically the helicopters will come through the valley. So coming back from the very last location, which is on the kind of the plateau, you kind of work your way down. So you can stand at the top, you can park your car and stand at the top of the hill here. Again, wherever you park your car, please make sure you keep it well out of the way of the road. You know, park in a sensible location. People need to get past. It is an access road. So please, for God's sake, don't just leave your car and just, just stand there. You need to park it sensibly. But you can stand at the top of the hill, and the vantage point then is looking down this valley here. So you've got a little ford in the road here, and you've got a bridge, and the helicopters are literally coming from the distance here through the valley. Occasionally they'll work their way over here, but primarily they'll work their way from the end. We've got some fantastic footage from last night when the Chinooks came through the valley, so I will pop that on for you. But as I say, I'll put the what 3 words location on. Again, I'm going to say this with all these locations, but there are no guarantees at any of these locations. I would recommend that you really try and kind of stay in one location for as long as you can. Once the helicopters come on the range, obviously they're generally doing the exercises first. They'll come on, they generally have about 2 hours each doing the exercises. Primarily that's what they're going to focus on all the time, and occasionally, if they see some spotters, they will do a little bit of a low pass or something, or do some loops, or just sit there and hover for you. But there are no guarantees. You can sit here all day and basically, the helicopters can come out, do the exercise, and then just go back to the base. So you've just got to chance it, really. But I would recommend, as I said, certainly if you're going to come up for more than one day, just try some of these different locations. But you do need to be prepared to basically sit here and spend hours where potentially you may not see something. There's no guarantee that a helicopter is going to come anywhere near this valley or come through or do anything with you. So you could easily put 3, 4, 5 hours into this and get absolutely nothing. So it is like fishing. But when it does pay off, it will pay off very, very well. But if you are going to come up for several days, what I would recommend is try some of these different locations. Don't just go to the same location, because all you're going to get is the same shots, the same kind of videos. Just try different places and just mix it up a little bit. Come in.